Hi, my name is Karen Gunther. I am a candidate for the Masters of Professional Studies Instructional Design program, and I am super excited. This is my last project for the entire program, and it is my ePortfolio. I'm very excited to be able to share this with you, and I hope that you enjoy it. On my ePortfolio, I start here with my home page, and it has the general information there. And then I use the template that was provided for the Masters of Professional Studies Instructional Design option. So I put my clicks or my links down on the side, and then I have actually gone in and tried to put the links for each of the categories or each of the sections on the pages as well, hoping that that makes it a little bit easier to follow. Candidate information is here. I discuss my profession, my current profession, my professional goals and personal goals, and then where I see myself in the future. Again, I added the additional links to the other sections of this in this category on the page, and then I included my exploration stage on here as well. One thing that I included in the exploration stage was that I'm hoping that I'll be able to design courses of instruction for the MLT program and actually create a course at some point for the advisors that are going to be working in my program as well. We just really don't have a system for that, and so I'm looking forward to doing that. My instructional design philosophy: by using the required competencies and standards to develop specific learning objectives, and then designing learning experiences and constructing engaging activities and content to meet those objectives, I will prepare the students to meet those competencies when assessed. So I do have my entire instructional design philosophy on here, and we're really limited, or not maybe limited, but we have very strict NACLS or Accrediting Association guidelines and competencies that our students have to follow. So for me, I like to use the backward design model, where I start with those competencies and then try and build my courses and instruction around those competencies. And then there's my references there. So moving on, I have my leadership philosophy. I believe that everyone should participate in the decision-making process and development of a program in which has the best students' interest in mind. I intend to ask for input and feedback from my team, develop and promote a shared vision for our program. I will be clear in my expectations, be flexible, and be supportive of my team's individual goals and recognize their successes as well. So I developed this leadership philosophy, and as part of the program. And then just recently, my employer had us all take the Gallup Strengths poll, and it turns out that my number one strength, is built around relationships. And so then going back and looking at my leadership philosophy, I thought it was very interesting that it seems to be built around relationships. So I have the entire philosophy here, and then the references, and then moving on. For my personal CV, I didn't really have a way that I could paste it right onto the page, so I included it as a Google Doc, but then what I did as well is added a link for a printable format. If it needed to be printed out, it could be just accessed very easily there. So going on from the candidate information, I wanted to go to the activity evidence. And I have several things for the activity evidence, and of course here's the links for each section, but course design, artifacts and articles, and then my additional resources. So for the course design, I reworked a course that was currently just bare bones. I was embarrassed to actually be teaching it. And so it was a good choice for me to go through and redesign it. I've really learned so much with this program that it's going to lend itself directly to a specific course that I have in our program. So starting with the orientation module, I have the welcome letter. It has a description of our class. It has my contact information. And then as an artifact, I also included a Powtoon video on academic integrity. There's an academic integrity assignment or a quiz that goes along with that. And then another artifact that I added to this course was it was kind of a professional development, but it also worked well for the students. But it's a how-to video on adding a video as a reply comment in our Canvas shells that we use with our program. And it's kind of, not only is it, here's my introduction, but here's how to make a video introduction as well. So that's actually the two articles or artifacts that I included in specifically in my orientation module. The first module that I have is for the clinical lab science review, and each of my modules, whether it was clinical lab science, anatomy, chemistry, or microbiology, were the 4 units for this entire course. But each one will start with a pre-test, which I did with Google Forms. It lists standards and competencies for each section, and then it has the links to the next lesson down at the bottom. So here we go backwards, here we go forwards. So the phlebotomy preview or review. Each of the lessons in this CLS unit has the learning objectives, it has the learning activities and experiences, links for the assignments and the videos, and then I've included videos to watch. I really wanted to make the course more engaging and more relevant to the students. Before it was just like a read the Cliff Notes for Dummies chemistry book and then write a summary, and that was it. I mean, totally it. So I really was hoping to make this a lot more geared to towards adult learning and make it more engaging for my students. So I have the videos, I have assignments, and then I have each one of the lessons will have an outline with all of the links to all of the resources used. And then on this one, I also included an artifact, a phlebotomy process key. I used a process chart, and then the assignment is for them to make a process chart, and I made a key using a process chart as an artifact. So here again, I have immunology and serology, the same type of format, discussions, creating a study tool, a digital study tool. That's a favorite assignment of mine. And then again, the links for all the resources. So I had those same format laid out for all of the different sections of this review. Here's a case study that I embedded. Clinical chemistry, it's the same thing. Hematology, same outlook, same different videos, different assignments, different websites that they can go to for additional resources, and then all the links. It also includes all of the competencies for each and the standards. Your analysis, same thing. Here's an example of one of the study tools that I had my students create in the class, and they used candy to represent the urinary tract system. I just thought that was so cute. Pathogenic microbiology is the last one. And on here's another artifact, the Google drawing tutorial that I made for one of my classes. Case studies again. And then I added this little game just for fun on the end. So moving on to the artifacts and articles and additional resources. Articles and artifacts number 1. I did, here's my introduction video that I included in the class. And my first article was on Google Translate, and it went into the fact that Google Translate is a really good free program for most things to be translated in, but when you're working in the medical profession, it really only has about a 50 to 60% accuracy, and sometimes, well, often medical terms and phrases are interpreted or translated incorrectly, and it could be a very serious issue when you're dealing with someone's life and death situation or healthcare. So they recommend not using Google Translate for medical professions. It was a very interesting article. I really enjoyed it. So my artifacts and article number 2, the academic integrity artifact, which was the Powtoon video that I made. That was fun. And then the second article is using closed captioning on videos. And the reason why I included this one is because we're required within our Canvas class, any videos that we put in there we have to have the closed captioning on them, which I at first thought was very odd because all of my students have to be able to hear. It's required by the lab standards. And so why add the closed captioning? And this article went on to say that closed captioning helps all students absorb and retain the information well, even if they have no issues with hearing or anything, but seeing the words and hearing it and everything helps with retention. So another interesting article. My additional resources, I have several here. I have a list of another list of probably 7 or 8 here. I did a phlebotomy procedure. This is the one that I used for my key. I created a GIF. This is my daughter and Chewbacca. We went to Star Wars. It was cute. I love to throw GIFs in with my students. Google Forms, I did a storyboard, another process or ethical decision tree. So, and then I did a website for another one of my classes. So there's several artifacts there. Adding my evaluation page, I have my peer review and my faculty review. Peer review, I had a coworker, peer instructor. She actually went through the MIT program last year. So she's a graduate and I work with her and she's great. And so she reviewed my website and everything. And then I also had Diana Peters was my partner in this program, and my peer review form is included there as well. So after the reflection page or my reflection, I've added my transference reflection here, the exploration stage. The explanation stage, I did change the direction of my course design. I was going to start with a more professional development type course, but when I saw the directed studies class that I was going to be currently teaching this semester, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to redesign this anyway. So I decided to use it instead. The only conflict or question that I might have with the program was the use of pretty much all of it being based around Google. My campus does not allow Google, so that was probably my biggest challenge, and having to learn that. I wish we could learn some other tools as well. I'm definitely going to put this program to use with my MLT career and director career, and I have just had a marvelous experience. So I'm very, very pleased with how everything's turned out. I'm going to throw this video on the tour there. I have my schedule here, and I'm also going to end up putting my greatest challenge video on here as well. So that's the tour of my website. We can go all the way back to general information, and there's me. And thank you. I've had a great experience, and definitely going to be putting a lot of what I've learned to use. Have a great